To help us look at the nature versus nurture question, we need to understand what nature and heredity are. Our genes are the fundamental unit of inheritance that gets passed along to our offspring. Every cell of the body contains a nucleus. Inside the nucleus are the chromosomes. Chromosomes contain the DNA. Genes are sections of the DNA. Genes direct the cells of the body to produce proteins. These proteins are used in all tissues of the body. They are also used to make the body's chemicals, including enzymes, hormones, and neurotransmitters. Let's take a look at human chromosomes. The cells in most of the body contain 23 pairs of 2 chromosomes. 22 of these look the same in biological males and females, but the 23rd pair differs between males and females. Females typically have XX and males typically have XY. This difference will explain X-linked traits, where a particular trait is more common in males than females. Ova and sperm are the sex cells and carry only one copy of each chromosome that can be contributed to the offspring. Different versions of a gene are called alleles. Alleles determine a characteristic, like the blood type or a disease, like Huntington's disease. There is one allele on each chromosome. Dominant alleles are represented with a capital letter. They are expressed regardless of the other allele. The type A and type B blood allele are dominant. Recessive alleles are represented with a lowercase letter. They are only expressed when there is no dominant allele. The type O blood allele is recessive. Individuals can be either homozygous or heterozygous for a given allele. Homozygous means they have 2 of the same type of allele, and heterozygous means they have 1 of each. So 2 different alleles. So they might have like a recessive and a dominant. So that's our genotype. The traits that an individual actually develops are the phenotype. So if I have AO heterozygous genotype for blood, my phenotype will be type A blood, because the allele for type A blood is the one that's dominant, but the allele for type O blood is recessive. Colorblindness is an example of an X-linked trait, also called a sex-linked trait. X-linked traits are due to an allele found on the X chromosome. Since males inherit only one X chromosome, they will express this trait even when they inherit a recessive allele. There is no other X chromosome with a different allele. Females are less likely to express a recessive trait on the X chromosome because they have a chance of inheriting a dominant trait on the other X chromosome. Now is a good time to review some terms using the example of blood type. One parent is heterozygous for type B blood, the other is heterozygous for type A blood. The possible genotypes and phenotypes for the offspring are shown in the table. Take a moment and identify examples of the following terms in the table: dominant, recessive, homozygous, heterozygous, genotype, phenotype. Pause the video while you take notes. Now let's look at how X-linked traits work. If the mother is heterozygous for colorblindness, she is a carrier because she is not colorblind, but carries a recessive allele for colorblindness. The father does not carry an allele for colorblindness, so he is not a carrier. Daughters will inherit one X from the mother and one from the father. Since the trait is recessive, they will not be colorblind. However, the sons only inherit one X chromosome. If they inherit the colorblind allele from the mother, they will be colorblind.